Yes, hello everyone. Came in a little bit late as we definitely know the Crystal Palace is facing the football club Arsenal. It's going to be a watch along, and really things are going on quite well for the football club Arsenal. You already know that a couple of games that Arsenal has played before have not gone quite bad. So let's see how this definitely will go. Where you watching from? Which part of the world are you definitely watching from? Just make a point, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you do not miss out on whatever I've got to bring to you. As long as this post and as long as it's Arsenal related, right about here, the Arsenal chapter with me, your very host Abu Kaus. As I'm definitely right about here to bring to you the latest straight as it comes in. As you definitely know that it is a game that really could put Arsenal, can we say, to be on top of the table? But I think the points will definitely be quite great. But there was a game that didn't go quite well for the football club Arsenal. For that matter, I think it won't be on top of the table. But I'll have a look in a minute. So we already know that it's 7 minutes in the game, and at this moment, 7 minutes played in the game, nobody has managed to score. It's Crystal Palace nil, and the football club Arsenal also nil. Let us know what you definitely think. Get into the comment section, and definitely put in your predictions. Whom you think is gonna win this game? Do you think Arsenal is going to comfortably win this game, or you think it's going to be a bit of a hard one? Let us know what you definitely think in the comment section, as it is a watch along, and really we're going to be seeing what is going to be transpiring in this game. You can let us know exactly whom you think is going to score. You can let us know whom you think could be scoring the first goal for the football club Arsenal. Let us know in the comment section, as we definitely know at this moment in time, 6 minutes 6 minutes going to the seventh minute, getting in, kicking in, and it is still nil. Let us know what you definitely think in the comment section, as we definitely right about here to bring to you the latest trade as it comes in.
Side they've won 2 from 2 so far this season. Fixture list has been pretty kind to Brighton. Face Luton, and then a Wolves side that have been tipped for relegation. However, they might have done against Manchester United the opening weekend of the season. So key really for Arsenal to go 2 from 2 to keep in step with Manchester City. Here is Johnston away from Nketiah towards Mitchell, plays it in field. Chested down here initially by Schlupp. Does well, thanks to Corey, who will come forward, and eventually it's towards Eze, and now to the right hand side is Ayew, edge of the Arsenal penalty area. Tristan a turn and a shot, and he takes a double block and then goes out for a throw-in. Not quite sure if Ramsdale was wrong-footed there, you know, almost took a double deflection maybe.
Yeah, we're just looking at the replay now, and it's Palace who won the ball in midfield and sprung quickly. As we said before, they're going to be direct, and they're going to just hit to goal whenever they win it in midfield, and that's exactly what they did there.
Eze with a touch towards Anderson, and now it's Mark Gay, former Chelsea junior, England international. Anderson had a good season last campaign, but Crystal Palace will play it forward. It's towards that right hand side. Eze just unable to get there, and Arsenal have it back, but now Gurney will take it down, moves away from Ødegaard really well. Looks to try and get it out from underneath his feet. This is Schlupp, and now it's with Mitchell on this near side, edge of the penalty area. Good play from Thomas Partey to win it back, and now it's with Bukayo Saka. Saka up against Mitchell, the ball goes out of play, and that's going to be a throw-in to Arsenal. Just first signs of Crystal Palace getting a bit of ambition, and the South London crowd responds. Here is Aaron Ramsdale. The pressure, of course, now with the signing of David Raya. Here is Rice. Now it's with Ben White on the halfway line. Plays the ball infield for William Saliba. Saliba missed the back end of last season. Win percentage dropped from 69% to 59% without William Saliba at the back. Terrific first season in English football. Proper first season in English football. But that back injury, thankfully, has not flared up again. Let's hope it's the last we ever hear of that. Here is Martinelli. Arsenal comfortable in possession, but no real penetration in this particular move. Saliba will find Ben White. White in field to Declan Rice. Rice turns away from Eze, plays it back towards Saka. Now it's with Rice once again. Crystal Palace sitting deep. Ben White, right-hand side, has got Saka further right still, makes a move. Edge of the penalty area, good running from Saka, plays it back towards Eddie Nketiah. Havertz is there as well, it's cleared away by Doucouré, only as far as Rice. Rice touches clever for Ødegaard, Ødegaard helps it on. Now it's with Saka once again, back towards Arsenal's number 8. Ødegaard will turn, Twist finds Saka once more, Ødegaard has it. And eventually it's gone for White. Now it's with Saka curled inside the penalty area, comfortable for Johnston, but plenty of purpose and possession for Arsenal.
Yeah, and lots of bodies getting forward whenever we do have the ball. I think you'll see that with Havertz in the position that we were used to seeing Granit Xhaka playing last season, and Granit Xhaka did get forward a lot, as we know, last year, and had a great goal return. Havertz is even more of a forward attack-minded player, isn't he? And Arsenal so far have been looking to get bodies forward. We know that Thomas Partey's in the team to get forward from fullback as well, and Arsenal are not been afraid to commit men forward so far in these early exchanges.
As they will play it back, here is Gate. Now it's with Anderson. Anderson, lofted ball towards Ayew, cleared away. That's Lerma, who will knock it down towards Doucouré. And eventually out for a throw on that far side. And Patrick Vieira, of course, was jettisoned last season by Crystal Palace. I thought a little unfairly. The run of fixtures that he had to contend with was very tough, and then Roy Hodgson comes back in, and suddenly it's a run of games that were all against teams in the bottom 6. If Patrick had stayed as coach, I'm sure they would have picked up points, but I think he went a little bit higher than results, didn't it? With 1-2 board level and friends of board level. Didn't really appreciate Patrick Vieira's methods. And in the end, Palace was safe, finished just outside the top 10 with 45 points, some 11 points clear of the drop zone in the end. Ball forward towards Edouard. And the flag is up, or at least the ball had gone out of play. And that's going to be a throw in here for Arsenal. We've had 12 minutes, Crystal Palace 0, Arsenal 0. Get your thoughts to Nicola Nagy at half-time. Ramsdale, outside of his own penalty area. Now it's with Ben White. Takes a look up. Does White, plays it centrally towards Havertz, cleared away by Anderson, only as far as Nketiah, can't quite find Ødegaard. He knocks it down. And then Doucouré finds Eze, and Eze will look for Mitchell on this near side. Ødegaard gets a challenge in, but not quite good enough to win the ball back. And eventually it's worked towards the left-hand side, and Lerma looking for Mitchell. Better defensive work here from Arsenal and Thomas Partey. Here he is again, Thomas Partey, right-back position at the moment, cleared away by Ben White, only as far as Gay. Gay loses out, and then he seems to pull back Bukayo Saka, but nothing's been given. Arsenal still have possession, so it doesn't matter. This is Nketiah. If he can play it to his left-hand side, he's got 2 to aim at. Plays it towards Saka. Saka looks to whip the cross in. Good block from Gay, Arsenal corner. Good movement, good combination play from Nketiah and Saka.
Yeah, again, it all started from right back. Arsenal looked to be hemmed in. They just moved the ball patiently in little triangles just until they got that opening. And then boom, they're all away, springing down the right wing. And yeah, as you say, lovely little interchange. And again, there were men forward. If they could have just got that ball into the box. There was Havertz and Martinelli were both waiting for a cross pullback.
First time that Eddie Nketiah starting against Crystal Palace in his Arsenal career. He came on as a late sub last season. I think his game's developed over the course of the summer. Looks to be dropping a little bit deeper. In comes the corner from Bukayo Saka. It's far post and it's comfortable for Sam Johnston, who will wait before deciding what to do with it. Sign from West Brom, and player that played 9 times for Palace last season, but was second choice to Vincent Guaita, who has fallen out with the powers that be, would appear at the moment. So Johnston's getting an opportunity, extended run.
30 now, has been around a long time, had a spell at Villa on loan a few years ago. Long punt forward towards Edouard, who does well to hold it up against William Saliba. Edouard forced back towards the halfway line. Now it's with Lerma towards Decore, and eventually Joe Ward on the right flank. Jordan, are you calling for it? Are you right? Up against Tomiyasu, one step over and another. Does get a cross in, punched away by Ramsdale, doesn't fall for Eze. Ødegaard is there, does well. Nearly fell for Eze, and then it's long for Martinelli. Has he got the legs here? Not quite. Anderson is there. Back towards Johnson, that's going to be a free kick.
Yeah, Anderson did well initially to live with the pace of Martinelli because there was so much open space in front of the Brazilian. Lovely ball over the top for him to chase onto. And yeah, credit to Anderson because he was stride for stride with Martinelli there and won the free kick, which could have been a real dangerous opportunity for Arsenal because he was completely free in the Palace half had he got to that ball first.
Got a lot of good qualities, has Anderson, an accomplished defender. Here is Edouard, left-hand side for Crystal Palace, inside the penalty area, still going here, and eventually the challenge from Ben White, who may well have just pulled a muscle as he went down. He's just clutching his groin at the moment. This is Eze! And it's Ramsdale with a save. I'm worried about Ben White here at the moment, Josh, because he looks to be in a little bit of pain. When he got the challenge in, Edouard, he went down. He's okay for the moment, but there is concern here. William Saliba just looking across to Ben White to make sure he's okay before continuing.
Yeah, I think he might have just taken the ball in the midfield there because it was, as he went down, he was putting his body behind the shot, and I don't think he's pulled anything. I think it was the ball just striking him in a sensitive area.
Delicate area. He's all right to continue, thankfully. Here is Saliba over the top, looking for the run of Havertz here. Havertz gets the right side of Joel Ward, but Ward does well to flick it for Anderson. Now it's with Gay, eventually for Mitchell, forward by Decore, intercepted by Ben White, who's fully recovered, and then White loses out, and Crystal Palace have it again. Here is Mitchell on the left-hand side, was calling for it, it's gone back towards Johnson, and Johnston will go long towards Eze, beaten in the air by Tomiyasu. Arsenal come forward, and then the ball goes out of play. Martinelli's had that opportunity for Arsenal. 3 goals in 6 appearances against Crystal Palace, including in his last 2. Opened the scoring here, of course, last season in that 2-0 success, and did net in the 4-1 win at the Emirates back in March. Here is Ben White for the Gunners once again. We've had 17.5 minutes here. Saliba inside the centre circle, just inside Arsenal territory. Square for Ben White. White over the halfway line. Just got the covering player. Now it's with Ødegaard. Flicks it through for Saka. Ødegaard again. Takes it in his stride and then left-footed plays it to the left-hand side where Tomiyasu is lurking. Tomiyasu on for Martinelli. Martinelli cuts inside. Gets away from a couple of challenges. Can't get beyond AU for the second time though. Here is Tomiyasu. Drops the shoulder, still has it, gets to the byline, wants to get the cross in, wins the corner, does he? He does indeed. Good persistence from Tomiyasu. Big opportunity for him, isn't it, really? With Timber out, as we know, extended period on the sidelines, and Tomiyasu lost his place really at right back, but he's going to try and re-establish himself as a left back.
Yeah, he's so versatile. He can play centre back as well, and we know he does that for his national team. I think he burst onto the scene when we bought him, and it looked absolutely tailor-made for this team, and it's only really injuries that have scuppered him. So if he can stay fit, I think he's got every chance of staying in the team.
So left wing corner this time around will be taken right-footed, and will be an in-swinger here towards that near post area, nodded away. Another chance for Arsenal to put some pressure on that Crystal Palace backline. It was Jefferson Lerma who cleared away. Same again, in-swinger, order of the day last season for Arsenal. As we found out over the course of the campaign, no change this time around, and it comes, that's good delivery. Nodded away by Lerma again. Another chance to centre maybe here. Another in-swinger, this time it's overcooked a little bit. Gay away, and then nodded back by Tomiyasu, but comfortable for Johnston. haven't seen too much variation with the flag kicks thus far from Arsenal this season. Towards the end of the last season, I think we saw a little bit of variation, didn't we? But those in-swingers were the way that Mikel Arteta wants to play, it would appear.
Yeah, and there's so many targets now, so much height in the team. For that one, we had Declan Rice forward, William Saliba, Havertz as well, 6'4", Ben White. So there's plenty of targets in there for Martinelli if he can get that delivery right.
Eze plays it back towards Anderson on the halfway line, comes forward, moves from right to left, still has possession. Here is Mark Gay once again. Gay back for Anderson. Anderson forward, looking for that pocket of space. Lerma looking for Edouard. Now it's with Eze, plays it to the right-hand side. This is Jordan Ayew, angle of the box, right flank. On his left side, it's still Jordan Ayew. He's got Ward to his right. Touch from Decore, and then it's back inside the penalty area, but it's over here. That wasn't the best. Cleared away by Bukayo Saka. Opportunity missed from a Crystal Palace point of view, but they still have possession here with Jefferson Lerma once again. Anderson forward for Decore. Now it's with Edouard. This is Eze. Ayew, right-hand side. Eze still has it. Left-footed strike. Declan Rice in the way. Comes back out. And the shot fired in, but wide of the target. That was Decore that let fly. Got hold of him. Not quite sure how close it was.
Yeah, for a moment, though, from our angle up here, it looked like it could just be flashing straight past Ramsdale into the top corner. As you say, plenty of power behind it. I think it was always just fading away. But, yeah, actually, from this replay, it's well wide in the end. But it was certainly well struck, and Palace just signs of them creeping into this more and more, getting a little bit confidence up front, and looking to test Ramsdale from whatever distance they get the ball.
Yet to score for Crystal Palace. Decore, incidentally, last goal for Lens against Nice a couple of seasons ago now. Not part of that good Lens side that finished runners-up to Paris Saint-Germain last season. Struggling this term, though. They've lost players, haven't they? Here is Thomas Partey. Over to the left-hand side. Martinelli takes it down first time. Lays it off here for Tomiyasu. Plays it back towards Havertz once more. Havertz comes back in field. Tomiyasu, 25 yards out, central position. Plays it for Thomas Partey. Arsenal a little narrow maybe at the moment. Saka right flank and Martinelli left, waiting to get involved. Here is Ødegaard. Ødegaard plays it back for Ben White. White looking for Rice. Rice caught by Edouard. That's a free kick. Declan Rice doesn't complain, but waits to take the free kick. And then just shuffles it sideways here for William Saliba. Saliba for Rice once again. Rice for Ødegaard. Steps in between the two centre-backs, doesn't he, Declan Rice? Very, very comfortable as the last line of defence. He reads the game so well.
He always wants the ball, doesn't he? Look, his arms are always out. Whoever's on the ball, give me it. I want the ball. And to be fair, he's used to that as his whole career at West Ham. He's been the fulcrum, the main point. Everyone looks to him, everyone gives him the ball, and he's desperate to be on the ball at all times in the game.
Here is Martinelli, arm up again for Declan Rice to emphasise the point, but it's gone back towards Saliba. Now it's with Saka, who's popped up centrally. Arsenal dominating the play. Tomiyasu left-hand side. And trades passes with Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli looks for something different, looks for Rice. Rice draws Eze towards him, then plays the ball towards White. Now it's with Partey. Right-hand side, has to play it back towards Saliba. Saliba forward for Ødegaard. Arsenal patient, just waiting for an opportunity to play that killer ball inside the penalty area, maybe. Still have possession. This is Havertz. Now it's with Martinelli, forced outside the box by the presence of Decore, but Crystal Palace can't get a touch of the football at the moment. And Arsenal just patient. This is Rice. That's a clever ball. Now it's with Martinelli. Havertz calling for it. Edge of the area is Ødegaard. Ødegaard on his left side. Can't get the shot away. A twist and a turn. Still has it. Now it's with Havertz. Havertz. And eventually Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu. And Havertz again. Well, this is death by 1,000 passes, this is. And eventually it's come in towards Saka. Saka loses out. Palace get one touch of the football, and Arsenal start again.
It's very patient from Arsenal at the moment. Palace, as I said, everybody back, and they're marking closely. It's only really Saka's touch that broke down that move there, rather than Palace winning it back. And Arsenal, as I say, start again.
Here is Rice. Delivers for Martinelli. Up against Ward. Martinelli inside the penalty area. Still had it. The one big chance for Arsenal in this game. Oh, now then, a mistake from Tomiyasu, and suddenly it's Ayew breaking forward. He's got Eze to his left-hand side, and he's got options to his right as well, but he opts to play it back. Crystal Palace just have a breather in possession here. This is Lerma. And now it's with Anderson. Anderson back towards Gay. Gay for Johnston. And Johnston waits before playing it for Gay once again. Not that much of a press from Arsenal. Now one or two more joining in. Oh, that's a clever ball over towards Joel Ward. He's got a lot of space to work into. Here is Joel Ward. Scored a screamer against Arsenal a few years ago from this sort of position. Coming forward on the right-hand side. Ayew with a cross, and it's into the arms of Ramsdale. That's what Arsenal have got to be wary of. Just a lack of concentration there, I thought, with Wardle in all that space.
Yeah, and you've got to say that Palace have been a bit more effective and efficient with the ball. They get the ball for, what, 10, 15 seconds, get it in the box, get a chance, get a shot, get a cross in. Arsenal have had the ball for 2 minutes and have not really tested the goalkeeper.
All the possession you want. If you don't do enough with it, you run the risk of being suckered in. Crystal Palace were the dominant force against Sheffield United, but Roy Hodgson will have known that this game would be markedly different. Here is Saliba, right-hand side. Bukayo Saka. Saka against Mitchell on his left foot. Gets the cross in towards and catch it cleared away by Anderson. Now it's with Rice to take it down. He's got Edouard to deal with. Moves away from Ozan Edouard and plays it over towards Martinelli on the left-hand side. Martinelli shapes it back for Rice. Now it's with Nketiah. Nketiah just outside the penalty area. Good fast feet from Eddie Nketiah. Races to the byline, then goes down. Referee takes a look at it, doesn't award the penalty, but it will be checked, and we shall see what the outcome is going to be in the next few seconds. Crystal Palace have possession at the moment. Jarrett Gillett is the official on VAR duty. I wonder, Josh, what do we think about that?
I think there was something there. I don't think it's enough. Threshold appears to be higher this season for them to overturn penalties that aren't given. The referee had a good view of it, so it's not one of those where it's been unsighted. They were hands-on, Nketiah, you'd say, and he went down, but yeah, difficult to see VAR reversing that decision.
That's Jordan Ayew, who's just got a yellow card for a challenge on Havertz, incidentally. Not quite seen the penalty shout again yet. Hopefully we will get to see it. Jordan Ayew is complaining because he has got a yellow card. Here we go again. Now then, Nketiah. Well, there's a bit of a touch from Ward on his back because he's beaten Ward, hasn't he? That's the thing.
Yeah, he's goal side. Ward, as I say, has got his arm on his shoulder. It just doesn't seem to be enough there for the VAR to say, yeah, he's brought him down. But that was a bad foul from Ayew. He doesn't like to put himself about, doesn't he? As one of his wide forwards, he's obviously asked to track back and to do his defensive work. But remember there was a game here a couple of years ago where I think he committed 6 or 7 fouls before he was given a booking. So I wonder if that will change his game, getting a relatively early booking halfway through this first half. He's just going to have to be a bit careful because he can be rash with his tackling.
5 goals against Arsenal, Jordan Ayew. He's got a terrific record. Scored for Marseille once against Arsenal in the Champions League fixture a decade ago. Arsenal back in the Champions League, of course, this season. Draw is made, August the 31st. Ødegaard to take the free kick. Queuing up inside the area. Partey couldn't quite angle it towards goal. That looked to be half an opportunity for Partey. It was low down. Has the referee given a free kick anyway to Crystal Palace?
There were bodies on the floor there, and it was a good delivery from Ødegaard, in-swinger with his left foot just across that sort of just between the penalty spot and the 6-yard area. But I think Palace as well defended that well again. I mean, there's plenty of height on both teams, aren't there? And they do seem to relish that aerial battle at the moment, the Palace defenders. And at the moment, you have to say they're coming out on top defensively.
Gay under pressure from Ødegaard. Plays it forward for Schlupp, who will turn. He's got 3 Arsenal players around him. He's lost out to Saka. Saka does well to find Nketiah inside the penalty area. Eddie Nketiah hits the post! Oh, he's done so well there, Eddie Nketiah, under real pressure to wriggle through, to show a bit of physicality and composure, and he just tried to place it into the corner. It's all he could do, really, and it's hit the outside of the post and gone away. I think he's desperately unlucky there.
Yeah, so unlucky. Beat the offside trap. I looked, first of all, along the line. He was onside. Gets away, shows great strength to get the shot away, beats Johnston, but yeah, just against the post. It sort of trickled in the end, left-footed shot as he's on the full, inches away from giving Arsenal the lead.
I think he's an improved player this season from last. I really do. He's dropping deep. He's studied Gabriel Jesus. I don't know if Mikel Arteta has asked him to do that, because he seems to be more involved in the game. I can't remember the stat about his average goal and the yardage was for the first however many goals he scored. But his game is different now, and you can see it. He gets involved, you know, in different positions of the pitch. He drops deep, and he seems to have a bit of strength about him. He seems to be able to, you know, shrug off defenders and run with a ball at his feet. Didn't really see that a few years ago. Let's see what Saka can do here. Johnston will come to the edge of the penalty area. Much improved. He's got a bit of a run, hasn't he? Now keeps on scoring. He's got to stay in.
Yeah, and you know, we can't really describe him as a young player anymore. Is he 24 now? I think he has had to develop. There's not many strikers at a top level like this who come straight into the team at 20, 21 and keep their place there. So he's had to learn his game. He's had to adapt his game. It's natural. You'll do that as you grow up. But also to play in this Mikel Arteta team, you've got to play like that, right? There's no way that Mikel Arteta is going to have passenger anywhere on the pitch. So his all-round game has had to improve, and it has.
Yeah, he's 24. It's incredible. Still sort of lumping in with that group of youngsters that Arsenal came through at the same time, but he's sort of a year older than all of those, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Declan Rice's year, isn't he? Together at Chelsea, and you look at Declan Rice with what, 250 games for West Ham, and I think that's the exception at that age, to come in and just to be a regular in the first team. Bukayo Saka's another exception, obviously, but Eddie is experienced now from bits and pieces, coming off the bench. He's used to getting those appearances, but yeah, to have a run in the team, and to be fair to him, whenever he's done that, whether it be when Jesus was injured or previously when Lacazette was here and he got injured, he's always delivered the goods, hasn't he?
Well, I think he's done well in fits and starts. He's done well for 3 or 4 matches, just not sort of 7 or 8, 9 or 10. That's been the issue. Eddie, I think, caught offside there. The home fans just below us not happy, but play continues here because Palace do have possession with Mitchell. I think he's only a 30th start for Eddie Nketiah in the Premier League for the Gunners. It's his 91st appearance. So although you can say, well, 15 goals in 90 Premier League appearances, it doesn't tell the full story, because you've got to talk about minutes on the pitch. But I just think he's come on last 18 months and he's a very different player. And this summer, whatever he's been told to do, whatever he's been working on, seems to be working.
And I've heard Mikel Arteta in press conferences and in interviews talk about his attitude in training as well. He absolutely loves that, and I think he spoke about it, didn't he, earlier in this season, that he was just demanding to be picked after the Community Shield. He was gutted not to be starting that, and he reacts in the right way. He gets down and he works harder, and he knows that will get noticed, and he's been rewarded. And it was like that when Arteta took over. He loved Eddie's attitude on the training pitches.
Saka, right-hand side, Arsenal coming forward short for Ødegaard, who's offside. Well, cheers from the Crystal Palace supporters there, because Ødegaard just went a split second too soon, or didn't get back soon enough. Should have stayed on side really there, Martin Ødegaard. So a free kick for Crystal Palace. We've had 32.5 minutes here, Josh. No goals so far. Arsenal have been the better side, more positive side, but nothing to show for it just yet.
No, and not a shot on target either. You haven't really worked the keeper, have we? I mean, Eddie's hit the post, as we just said, but it's been a lot of possession, and they've found it very difficult to find a way through this Palace defence so far. But you suspect it's coming if Arsenal can continue and the overloads. Then eventually you'd have thought the pressure would have to pay, and when we do get a chance, you'd back off forwards to take it.
Arsenal had to be patient against Nottingham Forest, but 2 goals in 6 minutes midway through the first half set the platform. Declan Rice has lost a contact lens here by the looks of things, so running repairs here. Doc will have all the replacements, I'm sure. We're going to restart with an Arsenal throw-in, or is this going to be a free kick? They're waiting for Declan Rice to get the contact lens in. The referee doesn't need to wait. He's saying to Arsenal, get on with it. Will be a free kick when we restart. Partey moves away. Ben White wants a little bit of support. Eventually he punts it long. Palace fans not happy about how long that took.
I'm surprised he wasn't booked. first few games, we've seen bookings coming out quite easily for that.
Meanwhile, let's see what Ayew can do here. It's Jordan Ayew, challenged beautifully by William Saliba, was it, that slid in? We've got a huge post in the way, I couldn't quite see. I think it was Saliba.
It was Saliba, and it had to be inch perfect to win the ball there. Otherwise, it's a penalty to Palace, and yeah, he did it. He dived in, slid across, 100% conviction, won the ball, superbly timed challenge.
Here is Martinelli. Yeah, minutes will be added on, of course, as we found out already this season across all the leagues. How many will get a half-time, we'll find out in about 10 minutes. Extra 6, was it, last week? Tended to think that was fabricated a little bit because we were stretching beyond 3 o'clock. There was an average of more than that over the course of the Premier League campaign. Oh, Milan's is Eddie Nketiah stealing in and over the crossbar, has to score. The ball from Rice. Eddie Nketiah tried to chip the keeper from close range and he can't find the target and he must find the net.
Yeah, I think he was too close to try to chip there, because by the time he'd received the ball, and what a pass it was, by the way, from Declan Rice to just dissect the defence. A great run from Eddie, onside, and then he's inside the 6-yard box. Tries to scoop it over the keeper, and you're just never going to get it up and down from that close. Look, he's inside the box.
I think the ball just bobbles a little bit and he thinks, this, I'll take it this way.
Yeah, it's difficult though, surely, to get it, the elevation, and get it down in that space. We're just seeing a replay of Saliba's tackle at the other end, which is absolutely superb on Ayew as he burst into the box. Wonderful timing. Yeah, Eddie, I think Eddie actually knew as soon as he did it, because he sort of shifted his foot across as if to say, I should have just tried to knock it past the keeper.
Palace coming forward meanwhile at the other end. Ethan Rice is in the way once again. And Rice tracked by Eze, clears, looks for Havertz. Ball is out of play over on that far side. Now, wonderful ball by Declan Rice. Saliba's challenge was really good. Ayew nearly in. He's nearly got in on a couple of occasions as Jordan Ayew, thankfully. Not had that clean one-on-one with Ramsdale. Throwing to be taken by Tomiyasu, deep inside Arsenal territory. Throws it high towards the halfway line. He's chested down here by Decore. He loses out. Arsenal have it. The flick for Havertz doesn't quite come off, but the ball ricochets back towards Tomiyasu. No, it's with Saliba. Saliba square for Ben White. White coming forward to the halfway line. Plays it to this near side and Thomas Partey. Partey comes in field. Schlupp tracks him. Plays it back for Saliba. Partey still in central midfield at the moment. Moves away from Eze and then curls it over to the right flank. It's a good ball for Saka. Saka controls. He's up against Mitchell and Schlupp. Mitchell can't get a touch on it. Here is Declan Rice. Rice right-hand side and Ødegaard. Ødegaard controls. Edge of the penalty area. Right-hand side. Ødegaard to curl inside the box. He's cleared away by Anderson. And then White jumps into Edouard, who goes down. Edouard went into Ødegaard, and those two, bit of a concertina effect, may well have just clashed heads because of the forceful nature of Ben White coming in the back.
Yeah, he's sandwiched. It was Ben White who won the header, won it powerfully, and yeah, it took Edouard into Ødegaard. He's looking a little groggy. He's rubbing the back of his head. I think he'll be fine. He's going to get up. They're taking the opportunity for a drinks break, which I thought they were going to stamp down on this year. I mean, it is muggy for a Monday evening, but the referee seems happy for them both to have a drinks break.
It's still London, it's still England in the summer. It's not Qatar, is it? Let's face it, it's not Florida.
Yeah.
What do we make of these added on minutes, Josh, that we're getting this season?
I think generally I'm all for it, especially with the VAR decisions. It can take so long sometimes, and it's unfair, isn't it? If you've got 90 minutes to win a game and all of a sudden you've got 83 or 84 minutes to win a game. I think it's going to be difficult sometimes for the away supporters in games when it goes on late. I mean, kickoffs have been moving back gradually anyway. They were 7:15, they were 7:30, now they're 8 o'clock. It can be difficult to get back from South London if they're too late, so maybe they do need to think about bringing kickoff times forward. But that's a different debate, isn't it? I know that TV companies like the late kickoffs. But yeah, we'll have to see how it pans out in this season. But I think it's the right decision.
Palace fans didn't think that was the right decision. A foul giving Arsenal a free kick deep inside their own half, and Palace fans not happy about it. Here is Havertz to break forward with Martinelli, and eventually to this near side, and Thomas Partey. You can hear the Palace fans not happy at all. Didn't get the call a few moments ago. Here is Partey, and now it's with Ben White. 5 minutes of this first half plus added on time still remaining. Here is Eddie Nketiah. Nketiah still coming forward, over to the right-hand side, and Saka inside the penalty area, still going forward. Here is Bukayo Saka, it's on his left side. Can he curl one? Not quite. Just unable to really get the left boot around that one. Awful lot to do there for Bukayo Saka, but we know what a terrific player he is. Scored against Nottingham Forest, of course, and 14 in the Premier League last season, 32 in 136. Having made his debut back in the 18-19 campaign under Unai Emery now. Incredible footballer. On this occasion, his effort not on target. Johnston waits, he wastes a little bit of time. I'm all for it for time wasting, but I just think nothing has changed too much in a lot of games that I've watched so far, yet we're getting 10-12 minutes of added on time. It's an interesting
Yeah, but
one.
I think it should have been added on before. I think it's the first year that VAR came in is when I noticed it a lot, thinking, oh, hang on, they've taken 4 minutes there and he's given 2 minutes injury time. Goal celebrations we've seen have got longer and longer. I mean, I'm sounding like an angry old man, but that's, I mean, it has sort of crept in, and maybe it's just a bit of a reset, and it's because it's gone from 4 minutes to 8 minutes or 12 minutes that we've noticed it.
Saka, Nketiah, edge of the penalty area. Now it's with Ødegaard, looks for the shot. Good effort, fine save. Tipped over by Johnston. That was dipping, it was on target. It was fairly central, but nonetheless, it was a really good stop from the Crystal Palace number 1. Fine strike from Martin Ødegaard. Doesn't shoot enough for me. I know he had a ridiculous goal-scoring record last season, but always looking to try and find a teammate. Corner is all we get from that. Referee not happy, and eventually moves away. Ødegaard was 15 last season, of course. This is Saka to the near post, and it's nodded up into the air, and then back inside the 6-yard box, and then Mitchell does well, and then it'll break for Saka to recycle up against Eze, caught by Eze. That's a poor challenge from Eze. Taken quickly though, the free kick. This is Partey, right-hand side, he's onside, loaded up at the far post here, and it comes, and the shot on the volley is wide of the target. And Martinelli, it was a chance that came with a high tariff, and although he could keep it down, he couldn't get it on target.
Connected really well, didn't he? Watched it all the way. Again, he had space there. I wondered if he did have time to